Now, speaking of Twitter, let's roll into our second story of the day. We got Elon Musk responding to LeBron James over criticism about offensive content on Twitter. Twitter, ever since Elon Musk has bought this thing, has just been on a frenzy. And we'll get to the story right after this one regarding all the celebrities flocking and leaving Twitter. They're deleting their accounts all over it. You're going to love this one, folks. If you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. New Twitter CEO Elon Musk responded Sunday to criticisms from the Los Angeles Lakers' LeBron James about racial slurs on the platform by noting that the content was part of the trolling campaign and had been deemed inauthentic. I don't like racism. I don't like racial slurs. I just want to be evident about that. I feel like I have to say that every single time because the leftists can't wrap their head that that's already built into the cake for conservatives and Republicans. We don't like racist. We don't like Nazis. We don't like that stuff, okay? We can only be so damn clear, but these leftists in their mind just go, I don't believe what you're saying. It's like a bunch of idiots, man. They are idiots. I'm sorry. Democrats, they're sane sometimes. Progressive left, idiots, radicals, extremists, knuckleheads, whatever you want to call them. They need to get it through their thick heads. We don't like racial slurs. They need to get it through their thick heads. We don't like Nazis. They need to get it through their thick heads that we hold morals and traditional values, but they can't. They can't just wrap their head around it. They think that we're just lying for some reason. James was responding to a report in the Washington Post that claimed there had been 500% increase in the use of the N-word on Twitter following Musk's takeover. Several posts on 4chan encourage users to amplify derogatory slurs, the report said, suggesting that the increase in those use of slurs may not have been completely organic, which the post did not mention. Of course they didn't mention. They have a narrative to push, you guys. The right is extremists. The right are a threat to democracy. They're a threat to the country. God, who said that? Oh, is Joe Biden, the president of the United States, attacking an entire political party? Granted, Trump did it too. But the thing that they're doing by attacking the political party of the right is that it's a bunch of nonsense. And the media is going to sit there and rub their shoulders over and withhold certain information from all of you. The study of the Washington Post relied upon bad actors who were trying to test the limits on Twitter, even though no content moderation changes have been made. I want you to see this. So this is kind of the image and what LeBron James was looking at here. So evidence suggests that bad actors are trying to test the limits here. And this shows you the increase. If anybody watched the Sunday episode yesterday, I talked about when there's a vertical increase in data. This comes from auditing as a public accountant, whether you're doing people's taxes or you're just looking at data. You have to look at it and go, man, that is a weird anomaly. That doesn't mean something fraudulent happened. It doesn't mean there was an error. It could have just happened just by happenstance. But the likelihood of that happening and probability is very low. So we look at that and go, God, that should be investigated. That's weird. You don't come to all these crazy ass assumptions and start pushing a narrative that may or may not be false. You go, God, let's look at this. Let's find the evidence. And then once we have the evidence, after investigating it, what do? Then we could talk about it. So you have this here. There is a spike. When you see spikes or a dramatic decline, you investigate and you kind of figure out what the hell's going on. But did LeBron James do that? No. Of course he didn't. He's a basketball player. He should stick to that. No, he just sat there and pushed a narrative out there for everybody to read. So they're going to look at that and be like, oh man, God, it looks like there's a bunch of racists on Twitter now ever since Elon Musk hopped on Twitter. Quote, I don't know Elon Musk, and to be honest, I don't care and could care less who owns Twitter, James tweeted. But I will say that if this is true, I hope he and his people take this very seriously because this is scary as F. So many damn unfit people saying hate speech is free speech. Hate speech is free speech, you idiot. I hate to call you an idiot, but God, what a stupid statement. It is free speech. And part of that is saying things that you don't like and could find hateful. Doesn't mean I like it, man. Again, yesterday's episode, today's episode, if you're a Nazi, you have the right to say Nazi things. I don't like it. I'm going to bash the crap out of you on my episode because I don't like it or on my show. If you say racial slurs, I don't like it. It's hateful. It's derogatory. It's wrong. I will bash them on my show, but they have a right to say it. But this is what the progressive left do. We talked about in Sunday's episode regarding censorship. They're coming after all of us. Regardless of what we say, it's misinformation. Oh, it's disinformation. It's Russian disinformation. It's this, it's that. I support free speech, but at the same time, I don't support that thing. They treat it like a freaking buffet, folks. That's good. That's yummy. Ooh, that's icky. I'm not into that. Ooh, that's wrong. That's what they do. They treat it as a freaking buffet where they like some speech, they don't like other speech. They believe in free speech. Everybody has a right to say whatever they want. But at the other end, when something goes against the very thing that they don't like, it goes against their narrative, then it should be censored. That's how they deal with it. Meaning they aren't for free speech then. They say they are, but they are not. Musk responded to James's tweet with a statement from Roth. Twitter's head of safety and integrity said nearly all of these accounts are inauthentic, meaning they're basically bots accounts. They're a bunch of freaking nothing. Okay. Let's talk about this for a minute about the slurs, hateful conduct, and trolling campaigns. Bottom line up front, Twitter's policies haven't changed. Hateful conduct has no place here, and we're taking steps to put a stop to an organized effort to make people think we have. Our rules prohibit hateful conduct, the statement concluded. This includes targeting people with dehumanizing content and slurs. This doesn't mean we have a list of words that are always banned. Context matters. For example, our policies are written to protect reclaimed speech. Quote, over the last 48 hours, we have seen a small number of accounts post a ton of tweets that include slurs and other derogatory terms. This is what's called investigation, folks. To give you a sense of scale, more than 50,000 tweets reportedly using a particular slur came from 300 accounts. You have a small group of people that are just pushing out a massive amount of tweets that are wrong, that people don't agree with, but it's not like it's happening everywhere. So you look at LeBron James's tweet, makes it seem like, oh, this is a massive thing. Look at all these. There's a 500% spike. God, look at all these people streaming the Twitter now from 4chan, these progressive leftist sites, posting all these racial slurs. What a bunch of racists. Doesn't that just go with the January 6th events of how these people are racist and they're, again, a threat to democracy and that they attack Nancy Pelosi's husband? Look at all these people, right? All these people are posting all these things. It's all intertwined and all connected. At least they're making it seem so. Nearly all these counts, again, are inauthentic. We've taken action to ban the users involved in this trolling campaign and are going to continue working to address these in the days to come to make Twitter safe and welcoming for everyone. Now, there's a little bit of an issue going on with that because Elon Musk is keeping like the diversity. They're keeping certain committees, if that's what you want to call them, in place that was previously from the other Twitter. And I call it the other Twitter now because Elon Musk basically fired everybody. That a lot of people are worried that he's not going to allow as much free speech as we expected, meaning that when somebody says something hateful, again, I'm not for that. I don't like it. I know I'm repeating myself, but they have a right to say it. If you don't like it, don't read it. Don't click on it. Ignore it. That's what I do. There's a lot of people that write asinine things to me all the time. I said I literally almost read every single tweet when I can. I sit there and swipe. I read them all. Leftist, rights, the subscribers, which I love so much. Thank you. We got a freaking awesome community. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. I read all of them. Even if I don't click the like button and the heart and comment, I read all of them. There are some people that say asinine things in the comment section. Do I delete it? No. Does it hurt my feelings? Not really, because they're knuckleheads. I don't know who the hell they are. It could be a bot account for all I know. But they have a right to say it, which is why I don't delete it. They have a right to push their viewpoint. But the difference is the progressive left doesn't believe that. The progressive left believes if you say something that's wrong and it goes against their narrative, it's misinformation. If it goes against the election, it's disinformation. If it really goes against the election, then it's Russian disinformation. All these other things, that's what they're going to push. And that's the stuff they're going to do. But out of all of this, because of Elon Musk, because of the platform that he's taken over and the platform that these elitists have sat there in stronghold for so long, Hollywood hits the delete button, folks. They're getting out ever since Elon Musk's takeover Twitter. So basically, it's sending celebrities to different social media platforms. Sarah Bareilles revealed she was leaving Twitter amid Hollywood backlash following Elon Musk's takeover of the social media platform. Oh, geez. Bye, Sarah. Honest to God, I barely know who she is, so let's find out here. Well, it's been a fun Twitter. I'm out, the Grammy Award-winning artist wrote Sunday morning. See you on other platforms, peeps. Sorry, this one's just not for me. Bareilles joined a chorus of celebrities, leaving Twitter following the SpaceX billionaire finally acquiring the site and becoming CEO after finalizing a $44 billion takeover. God, you got a guy that sits there and wants to allow free speech, the ones that, should be promoting free speech since y'all do movies and singing and, giving your free speech out to everybody else. But all of a sudden, when you got somebody that wants to allow that, no, it's not for me. Ooh, this is a little bit crazy, a little bit dicey. I'm out. Bareilles, known for her 2007 debut hit Love Song and writing Broadway's adaptation of Waitress, joined a few power players leaving the site. The Tesla CEO finally closed the acquisition at $54.20 a share. You got Shonda Rhimes, the creator and writer of Grey's Anatomy and its spin-off Private Practice, tweeted not hanging around for whatever Elon has planned by. This is what they all run. they all flock to the shadows. This is Us director and director Ken Olin tweeted, "Hey y'all, I'm out of here. No judgment. Let's keep the faith. Let's protect our democracy." How does that make sense? if you want a guy to allow free speech, which is, a big thing for America and our Constitution, hell, and our Bill of Rights, right? Number one there. Number one's protected by number two, folks. That's why we have it down in the logo there, right? That's why the eagle is facing the mic, because it's free speech at the time. When free speech is gone, okay, when we don't have the right to free speech anymore, guess where that head turns? Yeah, it turns to the Second Amendment, because the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. When you got the Second Amendment in place, that First Amendment's always going to be there, folks. That's why we did that. That's why I created that bald Brad. It's a beautiful logo, is it not? Does that logo not deserve a like and subscribe, folks? Okay, the microphone. He does a podcast. He does a show, The Microphone. And it's protected by the handgun, the Glock 19. Phenomenal weapon. Phenomenal. I miss Trump. The reason why I'm doing Trump impression, because the man's still not back on Twitter. He's going to stay on Truth Social, by the way. So they're all flocking to other social media platforms. I just find it rich that he says, let's protect democracy. All the while, Elon Musk wants to promote free speech, which is only a thing that you would see predominantly in a democracy. But, let's protect democracy. Let's try to be kinder. Let's try to save the planet. Let's try to be more generous. Let's look to find peace in the world. I agree with all of that, by the way. I want to keep the faith, too. I love protecting democracy. Hell, we're an outlier in terms of history. I want to be kinder, absolutely. Let's try to save the planet, sure, involved in that as well. Let's try to be more generous, love that, 100% love that as Judeo-Christian values, and let's look to find peace in the world. We'd love to find peace, but you're not going to find peace when you have the progressive left sitting there blaming Republicans for Nancy Pelosi's husband's attack when the guy's a registered Green Party guy. Unbelievable. So you got them fleeing. You got Rob Reiner encourage people to stay on the platform and continue tweeting as a number of elections loom. For those who are fighting to preserve our constitutional democracy, now it's not the time to leave Twitter, he wrote. Now it's time to vote blue. Really? You guys. Let that sink in. I don't know where Rob Reiner lives, but I mean, if you look at California, massive homeless population, the highest homeless population literally in all the United States. We have over a quarter of the homeless population. Feces just littered all over the streets. You have homeless encampments where literally they're building walls now. They're basically building houses on platforms in the streets of Los Angeles, spilling over into the street. You have a massive illegal immigration problem here. I mean, it's literally problem after problem. The worst roads in the United States. Public transportation sucks. You got a governor who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, that masks everybody up, sits there and hounds businesses for wanting to stay open and feed their families, gives out gas cards, or at least checks to help curb inflation. Let that one sink in. I mean, the highest gas prices in the nation as well. You got the oil companies fleeing from the state because it's tough to do business here. And then the governor can't fathom, well, why are they leaving? I don't know. Maybe it's because your party as well as yourself want to put them out of business. We used to have 50 oil refineries here. Now we got like 16 or 15. They're all going down for maintenance because they can't keep up with the demand of the people wanting to buy it, which is going to increase surging prices. But none of that makes sense to him. But no, vote blue, you guys. Everything's going fine. You got massive inflation going up. Your CPI's gone up. The gases are going up. Your grocery bills are going up. Your amendments, at least your rights, are slowly being dwindled of them wanting to slowly chisel away at your Second Amendment rights, slowly chisel away at your First Amendment rights, meaning freedom of speech, was what the hell we're talking about here. But no, vote blue totally makes sense. Everything's going fine in blue states and blue localities. She-Hulk star. Oh, God. Don't even get me going on She-Hulk. I love Marvel, and I'm a Disney fanatic, okay? I love Disney. I hate what Disney's doing. I hate what Marvel's doing. Don't even get me going on She-Hulk. Just awful, awful show. Well, she left Twitter in April when Elon began discussing the takeover, only to return again in July after he reportedly pulled out of the deal. I'm back! Oh, not anymore. Others begged for Musk to take a look at who he was allowing back on the site after Kanye, previously known as, Kanye West, I guess he goes by Ye, was reinstated on Twitter following controversial statements made on the site. I've said it time and time again. I am not on Kanye West bandwagon. I listened to him in high school. It seemed like after his mother passed away, he kind of went downhill, struggling with a lot of things, clearly. I'm just not one of those conservatives that hop on Elon Musk. I said Kanye West. I said in my episode that, look, this guy is going through something. I don't like that he says something conservative, and all of a sudden, let's all hop on the Kanye West bandwagon. Just because somebody says something conservative does not mean they're conservative. Just because they say something that was kind of like a Republican does not mean they're Republican. We should just hop on the bandwagon and follow that. Like, look at that celebrity. They like us. They're going along with us finally. No. Get a bet. Just because somebody says something that you like doesn't mean that you should go fully blown with them. Yes, account was restored by Twitter before the acquisition. They did not consult with or inform me, Musk said in a tweet after a user tweeted to him, so why did you restore already Kanye West's account? Twitter should not be a platform to spew racism and anti-Semitism. Nobody likes racism. Nobody likes anti-Semitism. But if you're going to be a freedom of speech platform, you have to allow freedom of speech. And then what we can do is all look at those idiotic statements and do what? We could talk about it on our show and say, that was idiotic. I don't like that. That's not a conservative value. That's not a Republican value. So why don't we stop considering him to be a Republican and conservative when he's not carrying on those traditional values of being a conservative and Republican by posting whatever it's racism or anti-Semitism or whatever the idiotic thing may be. We don't like that. We could talk about it, right? And people could watch it and come up with their own decision of like, man, yeah, it probably was a stupid thing to say. Or they could say, oh, I'm all for on board with it, which would be a very knucklehead thing to do. But there you have it. Celebrities are leaving Twitter. You got Nancy Pelosi. You got the White House. You got Hillary Clinton blaming Republicans for the January 6th events on top of the fact of construing it with Nancy Pelosi's husband being beaten in the head with a hammer. Thank God he's going to make a full recovery. You also have just a litany of things going on with Twitter right now and Elon Musk. You got people going after him. You got people upset that he's going to allow free speech. You got LeBron James kind of construing the idea of 500% people saying racial slurs. It turns out they're all bot accounts. 300 accounts are spreading 50,000 tweets. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.